Hello, today I'm going to show you how to create this suit card using the new Handsomely Suited stamp set and dies that come in the new mini catalog. Okay, it just came out by Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, January to June 2021. Brand new, great items in here. And this is from the Well Suited Suite. Some examples there, and it comes with a stamp set, a die set, some threads you can use for accessories, and designer series paper. And the paper is gorgeous. There are a lot of great designs, paisleys and plaids and stripes, everything to make a suit. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I looked through the designer series paper for the Well Suited, and I chose this gray to be the main base, this color of the suit. And the flip side of that has a lovely blue and gray white striped that I thought would be good for the tie. And I did cut out the tie, but it wasn't enough contrast for me, so I chose this color paper. The red really stands out, the red and the blue. There's such a contrast, so I found that if you want a more subtle look, you can use the flip side of the gray. It really is that color. If you want a little bolder one, you can go with this one, the red and the blue that I did. Okay, so that's the colors that I chose. And for the base card, I started with basic gray. The sheet itself is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. That will be the card base. For the suit jacket, cut out a piece of the suit paper, and it's going to be 4 1/4 by 5.5. We want it to be the exact same size, or at least I did. If you want a bit of border, you can cut it a bit smaller, but I didn't want a border. I wanted it to fit the entire thing. So once you have that cut out, what you then want to do is take one of the dies. And this is the die you're going to use, and you cut out the neckline in the jacket. Okay, so that's the one you use, and that's going to cut out, give you the nice V neckline on the jacket. The next thing you're going to cut out, it's going to be on the same paper because you're going to use this, which creates the lapel for the jacket. So I've cut it out on the same paper. And when we attach it, we're going to attach it with dimensional so that it has the 3D look to it. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. We're not going to attach anything yet. Just showing you how to, which pieces cut out. Okay, and while you still have that same color, you're going to cut out a little pocket. Okay, so that pocket will go right on the jacket as well. Okay, so we'll have the lapel and the pocket, and they're all from the same material because that's usually how suits are made. Gives it a realistic look. Then from your contrasting color, what you want to do is use the tie, and you want to cut out the tie that's going to go with it. Okay, and you're also going to use this little die, and what it does is it creates the little piece that will look like a little handkerchief coming out of the pocket when you place it in there. And it matches the tie. Okay, and that just sets it off, makes it look like it's all tailored and like a real suit would look. Okay, now for the base, what you also need is a piece of basic white. Don't want to say whisper white, I know that's on its way out. So that's going to go on top. I made it just a smidgy smaller. And then you also want to use this little die, strange looking die, and what it does, and you're going to use this in the white. If you chose a different color, like say you wanted a light blue shirt or whatever, this is going to be the color of the shirt underneath. And you use the same color with this die, and it creates the collar. Okay, so the collar will go on the shirt like that, and that creates the look. Okay, and then the tie will be there. And then we have everything going on top. Okay, so that's what I do. I start and I cut everything out and I decide. And then when I do it, I decide what's going to be attached first. Because obviously we're not going to attach the jacket first because the collar and the tie are not going to be on top of it. They're going to be underneath it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is attach the Whisper White to the basic gray. So I'm just going to glue this. And yeah, you don't have to choose white. I used white, this is very plain. But yeah, you can dress up your suit however you wish. When you put it on, make sure that it's the exact same height as the basic one. Unless you're creating a border around the entire thing. I did not want a border. So going to put it there. So what I did is I went like that so that the height was exact. That way there's no gray showing at the top of it and it looks like a shirt. The next thing I want to do is I'm just going to lay the jacket on top just to see for distance. Okay, because I want to put my collar down and I want it to be exactly in the middle. Okay, so that's why I have my jacket there, just to see for distance. Okay, and then I'm going to put the collar there. And I have some dimensionals for the collar. And all I'm going to do is put the dimensionals at the back of the collar for now, because I want to be able to place the tie underneath the collar. So I just put the dimensionals at the back. Get everything lined up. Okay, so that is attached. And I want to attach the tie. And I just want to fit it in there so that it's right underneath. You don't see it at the top, so it looks like it's completely. So careful when you do it. You don't want to put it up too far. You see there, you can see it appearing in the top, and that's going to show on the card. So you want to make sure that it stays low enough that it looks like it's right underneath the collar. And I'm just going to attach that with some glue. Okay, and you want to try and get it centered on the collar as well. And we'll just put it there. Okay. There. And make sure it comes down straight. We always want to have a straight tie on there. Okay, and this collar's sticking up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to stick some dimensionals under there. Kind of make sure that that part of the collar is going to stay stuck down. I don't know, maybe it would look more realistic if I left it sticking up. I'm not sure. I'll put the dimensional on. So you just have to be careful when you put it on. when you already have that there, so it doesn't stick out the sides. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and I'll put another dimensional on the other side of the collar. What I'm doing is I'm sticking them to the underside first, just to make sure they cannot be seen before I peel off the back and stick it to the bottom. Okay, so there we go. All right, so they're out looking so far. We have some nice dimension there. Okay, so then comes the suit jacket. And if you lined everything up properly when you attach this, because it's going to line up perfect, everything should be centered. Yep, that looks like it's going to turn out okay. You never know, sometimes things move when you're gluing it on. All right, so let's stick this part down. So when I am taping, I'm taping all the edges. So I'm even going along the V in the actual neckline of the jacket. So I want to make sure that that's going to stay down and not have a chance to kind of fly up. And you want to make sure that it's exactly at the top so that you don't see any white showing through at the top. Okay, so we have our suit jacket on. Okay, so now for the lapel. And I want to use dimensionals on it as well, right at the ends, just so that it has more dimension. I don't want it to look too flat. Give it a more realistic look, because the lapel is never flush with the jacket, right? It does stick out a bit. And then I'm going to use some glue on the rest of it. Just to give it a little bit extra hold, but the parts that I want to look like are sewn on are going to be flush from the glue, and the other parts that are loose is going to be there by the dimensional. And I'm going to start this down at the V at the very bottom to make sure it's all covered. And then slowly tack it down. You want to make sure you're getting it right along the edge of the jacket. There. So that it looks like it's sewn right on it and part of it. Okay. So there's the lapel on the jacket. So right here I have it glued so it lays flat and flush, and then on the outer corners I have the dimensional, so it gives a little 3D look to it. Okay, and then we have the pocket. We need to decide which side you want to put it on, and then you attach it. And be careful when you attach it that you leave enough room so that the handkerchief can go inside. You don't want it completely sealed at the very top. We want the handkerchief part to be able to slip in so it's coming out. Okay, so there's the pocket. And now I'm just going to do the little piece, that's the handkerchief. And I'm going to put that in just slide it in so it's just sticking up. There. And there's the card. And also on the inside, because my shirt is white, I cut a piece of Whisper White, and it is 5 1/4 by 4, so that I have the gray border all around it when I attach it. And with this stamp set, there are many great sayings that you could put in there. So have a happy Father's Day, handsome, a happy birthday to you, to one of the world's greatest dads. There's even just a thank you or you're the best. Okay, so you can use any of those stamps or a stamp from anything, another stamp set that you like. Just put that inside and then your card is done. Thank you for watching.